So I am back with another video, and today, if you couldn't tell by the title, I'm going to be doing what I want to read in June, which is kind of a continuation of what I wanted to read in May. I know I didn't make a video for that because I didn't know what I wanted to read in May, and hey, I still don't really know what I want to read. But May was kind of a disappointing month. I only got 2 books read, which is bad for me because I've been reading a lot, and May was just not the month for me. So I picked out, I think, 6 books for May, and I only read 2 of them. So now I'm going to read the other 4 for June, and then if I get through those 4, I'm not really sure what else I'm going to read, but this is basically what I want to read and what I'm going to start reading. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, the first book I have is Winter Girls by Lori Hales Anderson, and I've already started this one. As you can see, I've been on this one, but I haven't finished it yet because I just have been procrastinating in the reading department, and I'm really going to try to get back into reading for June, so we will see. But this book is about Leah and Cassie, and Cassie has died, and Leah doesn't really know how Cassie's died yet, but that is kind of what she's trying to figure out, and she's trying to just cope with the fact that Cassie's gone, because Cassie was her best friend for 9 years, I believe, and then they kind of separated as they grew up. But Leah and Cassie basically made this pact that they would be the skinniest girls in high school, so they both kind of developed eating disorders, and it's basically a book with, like, describing mental health, and so far I'm really liking it. So that's kind of what all these books are about. They're all mental health books, so be advised when you're going into them that there's sensitive topics. But I'm really liking this so far because Leah's she's kind of just trying to cope with everything that's going on in her life and just her eating disorder and all that, and she's trying to also figure out what happened to Cassie. But so yeah, that's kind of what this book is about. So if you're interested, pick it up. It's pretty good. Okay, so the next book I have is When the World Didn't End by Carolyn Kaufman. And I read her other book, which is Light Filters and Poems. I've read that 3 times now, I think. 2 or 3 times now. And I really enjoyed it. So I saw this one and I just decided to pick it up because I liked her other book so much. So this, I don't really know a whole lot about it. I know it's poems, as it says right there. I know it's kind of a collection of poems, but I don't know too much else about it. I think it's, from what I read on the back, it's kind of like her recovery. If you've read her other book, that was like her struggle and where she is now, and kind of like that. So I'm really excited to pick this one up because I think it's going to be just as good as the first one, and I have kind of high expectations going into it because I really liked her other one, and I think I gave that one 5 out of 5 stars because I liked it so much. And I mean, I know some other people didn't like it as much, but I'm kind of excited to read this one. So yeah. The next book I have is Cut by Patricia McCormick, and this book I've already read, so this is a reread for me, but I liked it so much. So this is a book about a girl named Callie who self-harms, and this is about her journey in a resident treatment facility called Sea Pines. So she's there, and she's kind of a quiet girl. She doesn't like say anything. She kind of just keeps it all inside, and she doesn't want to be there because she doesn't really necessarily want to get better. It's not necessarily that, but that's kind of like the gist of it, because she kind of is resisting all this because she just needs a way to cope, which is kind of what her cutting is. It's kind of her way to cope through all of it, which is a lot for a lot of people in the world. So this is a really short book, but it's really powerful. It's really nice. So I'm rereading this again, and if you're interested, pick it up. And the last book I have here is Milk and Honey by Ruby Kuru, I think. Don't kill me if I pronounce that wrong. But I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about this book. I know some people don't like it. I know other people love it. It's kind of like mixed reviews, but I think it's gonna be a really good book because I'm starting to read more poetry. I've started to like more poetry more, and I'm really excited to read her book because I've heard, like I said, I've heard good views and bad views, so I'm I'm intrigued by it. I don't know a whole lot about this one either. It doesn't really give a description per se. I'm just I know it's kind of like another mental health book per se. So I'm excited to read this one too. I don't know a lot about it, but I am excited to read this book too. So maybe leave me a comment if you've read it and tell me if you liked it, or any of these books if you've read them. Tell me if you liked them, hated them. So yeah. Alright, well, that is all I have for today. Like I said, I don't know if those are the only books I'm going to read in June. I don't know if I'm going to read more. I don't know if I'm going to read less. It kind of just depends, but I'm hoping June will be a better month than last month was, and I'm kind of excited for it. So we will see what happens, and I'm going to my plan is to do a June wrap up because I didn't do a May wrap up because I only read 2 books, and I felt like that was kind of like pointless to just do 2 book video. So I think if I do better than I did in May, then I'm going to do a June wrap up. And if not, we'll see. But until then, bye.